The first wine class I ever took was in Ireland when I was studying abroad. And I took this wine and food pairing class, and it was just so much fun, and it was so relaxed, and I was interested in everything. I just really enjoyed myself, and so I found out that Central had a wine program, and I looked into that, and here I am.
The way you learn is to sit down and taste. To sit down and taste and talk to people that are tasting you, and sitting down and talking to distributors and vendors and wineries. That's where I learned everything.
It's a fun business. It's most people that come into the store are happy people, you know, because it's an enjoyable thing. I, started out drinking a certain type of wine, and my palate has developed over the years. You know, I never really liked white wines, but I like a lot of white wines. I love Spanish wines. When I got to go to South Africa, I love South African wines now. So the more I get exposed to, the more that I would never have tried it before, that I really enjoy it now. So I've learned that you don't say no to anything, that eventually you're going to find something about anything that you like.
And I followed Alicia, our marketing director. I stepped in to some of her meetings and saw what she discussed with distributors. I participated in the tastings, and I followed Jeff, our wine buyer, who again has meetings with distributors and just a much different conversation than what our marketing director would talk about. So I got to see different sides of the business, whereas if I would have just been working on the front desk, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So.
I do enjoy tasting wines. That's a huge part of buying, and especially when it becomes, to the caliber of wines we sell here and the vast price ranges, you need to constantly taste. That's an enjoyable part. It's a fun part because it's an education process also. You learn as you go. I've been in this business a long time, and I was in restaurants since the age of 16. I'm 50 now, and I'm still learning things constantly, so that makes it enjoyable.
When I came here 10 years ago, I didn't know anything. So I came from an advertising background, and I certainly liked to drink. I appreciated wine for what it was, but I appreciated it varietally and not necessarily by region or vintage or getting very specific. So that has all evolved over the last 10 years.
I really like the family aspect of the business, which is why I decided to do it. Nobody gets along well with the family that they work with, but I like owning. It's working towards like inheritance. It's a family. It's a piece of your history. It's a piece of your family. So that's what I liked about it.
That working with the family is when you fit in and become part of the family, it can be very rewarding and fun. We treat each other like family. There's joking. There's, you give each other a hard time. Sometimes there can be screaming and yelling. There's a lot of benefits to that. We get to try a lot of good wines around here, and we, have our little holiday parties, and we act like family when we're at work all the time. So it's
pretty closely knit.
It's a nice feeling.
It's unconditional. And again, you can lose your mind, and you don't have to worry because it's your family. And so you know that the next day when you show up, it's your family and they just get you. Working with your family is the hardest thing I've ever done. And I wouldn't recommend it. I'm sorry.
So you did this internship at Esquin. And was it what you expected?
It was, yeah, it was. I got to shadow all the people that I wanted to. It was definitely more relaxed than I thought it would be, which is a good thing. But yeah, it was. I got a lot of good things out of it, so I'm happy that it happened that way.
I am not a big person on pairing and drinking. I was eating eggs and bacon with gin and tonic last night.
Oh, that sounds
Pairs
delicious.
well. Pairs well.
My always favorite has been Le Col 7 Hills Merlot. That, hands down, has always, I don't know why, but that's one of my favorite wines. I love Merlot, but, well, right now I really like 75 Wine Company Red Blend from California.
And what would you say goes well with it?
Everything. It's good for cocktailing, so you can have it and you don't need food with it, but if I was going to eat, which I prefer to, if I'm going to sit down and have a nice meal, it's steak or even a cheeseburger, that wine goes with it. It's a really well-balanced, medium-bodied. It just kind of goes with everything, but you can drink it without food.
What was the most expensive bottle you've ever had, and was it worth the amount of money you paid?
Batard Montrachet, $265, and it was the greatest thing I've ever tasted.
Wow, and was it for a special reason? Or?
We were sitting around at work one night, and we all wanted to try it. We all pitched in, and I had declared that I do not like white wine, and that changed my life. I now love white wine, and it was so expensive and so worth it. Little taste for $10.
I've had a lot of first growth Bordeaux through the years, but I have to say probably the most expensive one I had would be an 04 Screaming Eagle, which value on Wine Street right now is probably $1,800 to $2,000 a bottle.
Wow.
And it certainly was enjoyable, but I don't think that any wine is worth that amount of money.
Expensive bottles are wasted on me. Not that I don't enjoy them, but I certainly wouldn't buy one for myself.
Right.
So I let the family members, the parents, open
Spoil
up the
you.
expensive stuff. When we first started tasting liquor, I was like, this is, never drank liquor before besides margarita every now and again in a restaurant. And then I tried gin and I was like, oh, diggity. And now I love gin.
With wine, everything is now or 20 minutes ago. So they come in and it's a deal and I need to know now and here, try this and what do you think?
All right, it's your world. I'm just living in it, honey.
You look so hot right now.
I like that corkscrew. Where'd you get it?
Yeah, I got it at Esquin.
Do I have any hairs hanging out of my nose or anything?
Can you stop?
Like an angel.